Well, Flume Fever is really a crazy thing that when you see the project and try and imagine how they built it, you really can't figure it out. And that's basically Flume Fever in a sense, is that how in the heck did they do it? And it just kind of snowballs. You figure out a little piece of a board, oh, if you put this one on top of that one, then this happens, and then that snowballs to the next one, and you need something to hold that up, and it becomes kind of a great puzzle.
Initially, my first thought about Flume was, wow, they had to have been some tough guys to do that, especially in the era that it was built. You got to marvel and be humbled by the fact that they did this without power tools. I mean, we worked with power tools all week, and it was physically demanding, so the drive those men must have had. I mean, I got all the respect in the world for the old timers that did it.
It's really important to sort of understand, who came here before and what they did, and even though the structure is simple in its very basic form, the feat of completing it and actually building it is really amazing.
It's really not just of local import. I mean, this is a very significant piece of mining engineering history, and one which doesn't exist anywhere else in Canada, in the US, South America. This is it. This is the one. It's unique.
This flume in Montrose County was unique in that there was no other known hanging flume, or what was called a bracket flume, that still existed in the US. They were used extensively for hydraulic mining, primarily in California, but in a few other states. When you look up in many areas of the flume, you see large timbers that are on the face of the cliff, but you don't see the flume box that actually carried the water. We rebuilt a section that spans about 48 feet of flume. Not a very long segment, but enough to gain an appreciation for the size of the flume box that was up there, and at least a glimpse of the level of effort that went into the construction.
If you're going to build this thing on the ground, it would probably take 3 guys a day or less. It's a pretty simple structure. But the logistics of moving the material from the top up here at Cactus Flats down that incline, some pieces we had to lower down by rope and then muscle down through the talus field that's down there below to the cliff edge. Finally, we get all the materials stockpiled right there at the top of the cliff, and then we're in a position to begin lowering things off.
I think it gives me an insight into a little bit of what it was like for the people that built it. And we get some more ideas about how they did it. I don't think we still know exactly how they built it, but it's really interesting to spend 3 days down there and imagine what it was like to spend 3 years down there, because that's really what some of them did.
The preservation of this flume is not just about putting it in a record book or documenting it, but it's to get people down here and to see it. And I'm hoping that's what our funding will promote in the future, getting people to turn off the road, come down the river, look up and say, my God, what were they doing in the 1890s that had them build this thing that is a very difficult thing to build. But that's the hope, to really get people here to see it physically, to understand it, and then walk away where it gives them a sense of pride.